seat. Depending on your body, because we are all different, I would say a cross-legged or a kneeling position. And there you can already start to use your props. A pillow, a block. So with each shape in our yin yoga practice, it's like you try it on, as if you're trying on a new piece of clothing in a shop. And you can very quickly feel, hey, this one is too tight, or hey, this one feels too big. So you try each shape on. So you take a little moment, so let's just practice that already in our seat. And go like, okay, yeah, this feels fine. And then you can close your eyes and we'll just start with some stillness. Sitting still, pausing, taking moments of reflection is quite rare, or it used to be even more rare to my life. Since I've discovered yoga, I try to practice more moments of stillness. So while you sit still, just notice how it feels to sit still. If there's any part of your body that feels sensitive, that maybe today during your practice needs some extra attention. And then the difference between any form of exercise or movement disciplines and yoga is the breath. The breath is very, very important. So can you start noticing your breath? Can you notice where the balloon, and then the balloon I mean your lungs, where the inflation happens most? Is it in the top part of your chest? Or can you also breathe all the way down to your belly? Are you bringing your attention more to the front of the body or the back line of the body? Just observe your in and your exhales and what it does to breathe in and out and what it does to your physical body. We know that our lungs fill up and empty. And in order to give the lungs some space, the ribcage needs to expand a little. And then you can place a hand in the center of your chest and let the other hand rest on top, just acknowledging our heart space. Today's theme is all about the heart, about keeping our hearts open. So specifically when we go through challenges, when our heart is broken or when things do not go according to our heart desires, there could be a tendency to close down because it's safer and it's a bit of survival mode. So by practicing a physical open heart, we also practice staying open in connecting to others. I personally hope that by practicing an open heart, I can live my life and go through my life with authentic and beautiful, pure, loving connections. It's beautiful to set an intention for your class. And an intention is simply the why. Why are you here? This hour, is it going to be nurturing for your body? Are you here to calm down the mind? Or maybe create a bit more openness in your heart? If intention setting is new to you, I would suggest an intention of gratitude. Whenever something gets challenging in your practice, think of something that you're grateful for. Let's move into the other cross-legged. So you bring the other leg in front, and then we're just going to create some circles with our chest. Come forward to breathe in. Come backwards to breathe out. You can close your eyes whenever you want. For me personally, I love to close my eyes because when I open my eyes, I get distracted quicker. I see something and I think of something. So when I close my eyes, I really just go into the sensations of the body. Take the circles the other way. Pause in the middle somewhere and just start to circle your upper body. in the other direction. Can you coordinate the movement with your breath? So you breathe in to come to the front. You breathe out to come back. 2 more rounds here. Alright, let's find both sit bones. Bring your arms up to the sky. Interlace your hands, flip the palms up to the ceiling. And then even let your bottom jaw, so open your mouth totally as wide as possible, a little weird. Oh, like a yawn. And then relax your jaw and soften your shoulders. Take 1 more deep breath in. Reach the palms up to the sky. Bring the hands to touch in front of the heart. Roll over your shins. And come into a child's pose. Child's pose, toes to touch, knees nice and wide. And then stretch your arms in front of you. Now the breath in Yin Yoga is in through the nose, and if you want, it is out through the mouth. The inhales are around 4 to 6 counts, and the exhales either the same length or your exhale is a little longer. So a really nice thing, specifically when you start practicing yoga, and specifically in Yin, is to count the breath. So you go inhale, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 5, 4, and you just keep counting. So you draw and you pay your attention to your breath all the time. Take another 5 rounds of breath here. Soften the skin on your face. A sigh is always welcome. Another important detail is that our yoga mat is a non-competitive environment. It's just for you to feel, to breathe, to heal, to stretch, to calm down, to process life as it presents itself today. Come into a tabletop, hands are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. Yes. Now walk your hands further forward, but keep your hips above your knees and then press your chest down towards the floor. This is called Anatasana, and Anatta is the heart space. So you're melting your heart space down towards the floor, and we'll stay here for 3 minutes. I talked a lot, and I said in the beginning of class that Yin is all about stillness. I'm soon done talking. But the last little thing I'd like to contribute or add is that there's 3 principles to Yin. They're very simple. E, F or S, and T. E, F, T. The E is the edge. There is an edge to your shape where you feel something. A sensation that is stretchy or intense in the shoulders maybe now, or just notice where you feel it, where is the edge, and you stay in the edge. The F stands for the non-fiddling, the stillness. We commit to stillness and notice when you want to fiddle, and if you can avoid fiddling, if you can commit to stillness. And the T stands for time. We stay for a certain amount of time, and quite a long time. I'll be the timekeeper, so you don't have to worry about the time. You just stay in the shape, breathe and feel. Take 1 more deep breath and a nice sigh out, and then you can come into the counting of the breath. You can even do it together, so you breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, in through the nose, 4, 3, 2, exhale out of the mouth softly, slowly, 3, 2, 2 more rounds like that. Breathe in through the nose, fill up more, inhale, 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 out of the mouth, 4, 3, 2, last round, breathe in, fill up, more air into the body, Slowly exhale, 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 and keep going like that. Maybe your breath cycles are longer, maybe you're shorter, but pay attention to the breath all the time. We've got 45 seconds to go here. Just focus on the breath. And you slow down and deepen the breath. So even if you breathe in for 6 or 7, totally fine. 5 was just an example. The slower you breathe, the more the central nervous system can calm down. And you'll probably notice that the mind also starts to become a little bit more quiet. Slowly lift your head, shift your weight to your elbows, and then bring your tummy to the floor for Sphinx pose. You can decide the height. So probably most of us will start off with our elbows under our shoulders. If you have a sensitive lower back, you might want to bring your elbows a little bit more in front. If you feel, and again, please, this is not a competition. The fact that you can push yourself up and stay here doesn't mean you're doing yin. Actually, you're probably doing, and we're not here to do. We're here to just be. So if you feel that maybe you want to go a little bit higher, you may. But please connect to the intention and the why. We're here to soften. We'll stay here for another 3 minutes. So find your shape. Soften your toes. Soften your bum. Notice if your butt cheeks are clenching or if you can relax. If you're not sure, it depends on your body-mind connection. You are allowed to touch your own bum and check if your bum muscles are relaxed. Then close your eyes and just focus on the breath again. So in life, a lot of our physical movement is quite rounded forward with the chest. When we're on the computer, when we are cooking, when we are driving. So these kind of heart openers and back bends are not only good for your physical body, they also open the heart space. We kind of move into spaces, into shapes that are the opposite of what we do all day long. So it might feel a little bit challenging sometimes. That's okay. Try to soften and know that you can always bring the elbows more forward. You can always go higher. It is totally up to you. It's about relaxing and softening. A sigh is always welcome. Now I'd like you to ask yourself the question, where do I feel what? Go into sensations. Do I feel something in my toes? Do I feel something in my ankles, calves, knees, upper legs? Do I feel something in my lower back maybe? Do I feel something in the mid-back, shoulder blade area? Where do I feel what? Is it resistance? Is it intense? Does it shift? Go into sensations of the body. That's where your edge is, and then we commit to non-fiddling, to staying still, and we leave time to do its healing work. 1 more minute in stillness. Just focus on your breath. Take around 3 or 4 more rounds of breath. And then slowly bring your elbows a little wider. We take a little break. This is my little cat, Yuna. She likes to join the class sometimes. Place the palms on top of each other and let your head rest. Now this is the ripple effect. So can you again go into the sensations of the body? What do you feel around the hips? What do you feel around the lower back, middle back, upper back? Where do you feel? You can even think in colors. So red would be a very intense sensation. Orange would be a medium sensation. Yellow would be even a less. And then maybe white or green would be, you know. So where would the red spots be? Where would the intensity be most? Can you indicate that in your mind and then soften into those places? We take 5 more rounds of breath. And you can also practice belly breathing here. Letting the belly press into the floor. Totally fill up with air and then soften. You don't really need to do anything to let go of the air. So let the belly button press into the mat. That also creates space in the lower back and then sigh out of the mouth, soften. One more deep breath in together. Fill up the chest, the belly, the front, the side, and the back of your upper body. And then sigh. Bring your hands next to your rib cage. And then slowly, just a transition. Now you're bending your back in the opposite direction. Into a child's pose. We won't stay here for long. Instead of having a back bend, it's a little bit more of a rounding of the spine, more space for the lower back. Coming to a tabletop. That's very handy, Yuna, to sit right there. Right there. I'll turn around because I want to do it the other way anyways. So we're going to do a thread the needle. Oh, hello. You bring your left arm up to the sky and you thread the needle all the way through. Your hips are above your knees and your right arm can either come onto the bum or you reach the right arm to the top. You know, they can't see me now. Go to the side. So it's a thread the needle. Most of you will probably opt for the right arm here in front. If it feels alright, you can bring the right hand to the bum, or if you're quite flexible, you can bring the right fingers on the inside of the left thigh. We'll stay here for 2 minutes. Just notice if your neck is okay. If you feel that there's too much pressure here on the side of the left side of your neck, just put your hand down in front of your face, and if you press softly into the right hand, you have a little less pressure into the head. For me, it feels alright, so I can actually lean into the head. Also, having the right hand at the top of the mat is a little less pressure in the neck. So just see how that feels. Soften and breathe. Feel free to close your eyes and again, just focus on your breath. A little bit more than a minute in stillness. I'll let you know when it's time to move again. 3 more rounds of deep, slow breathing. Maybe a sigh. Bring your right hand in front of your face, wherever it's coming from, and then slowly lift your left arm up to the sky, and then shake your left arm. Just shake it a little bit. Bring both hands down to the floor and step your left foot to the top of your mat. Maybe move even more forward. I'm going to bring my blocks with, just so I can show you. So if you feel that it's uncomfortable to be in this position, I find this a little bit more, so like if we would do this in a Yan class, in a Vinyasa class, it would look something like that, which is very active. So we're activating the muscles, but this is Yin. So here you want to come into a soft space. We will only stay here as well for 2 minutes. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. So you'll notice that very often when tension somewhere in the body starts to present itself, and you breathe through it, the shoulders start to come up, or you start to clench your teeth. So can you ground through the foot and the knee, and then soften into the groin, soften the shoulders away from the ears. And I love to close my eyes, just so I can go inside, notice what I notice, observe. Become aware of your own thoughts, become aware of your own emotions. You're also digesting your day. You know how they say, shake it off? Like if you're feeling something that you might not want to feel, it's okay to sometimes shake things off, you know, like dancing it out of your system. But stillness is also very healing. Actually noticing that a certain thought or a certain emotion is present, whether that is a positive, we say positive or negative. Actually, all emotions are just emotions. Even a, let's say, negative labeled emotion doesn't have to be negative. If you feel frustrated or angry, it doesn't have to be negative. We have these emotions. It is actually quite healthy to be able to feel them all. It is more important how we act. If we let the emotion translate into our actions, or if we can simply acknowledge the emotion and go, okay, I'm a little angry, fine, I have the right to be angry, it's okay, or I'm sad or frustrated, rather than suppressing the emotion and then maybe potentially even acting in a way that is impulsive and not really what you wanted to do, and you might regret it later. All right. Take 3 more rounds of breath here. Nice. Step back. Bring both knees to touch or next to each other. You can bring the blocks back down. And we come into tabletop and create a couple of circles with our hips. Just feeling into our hips, feeling into our shoulders. Nice and slow. And then take those circles in the other direction. And come back down onto your belly. Another back bend. Now your option is to come back into Swings pose. If you really enjoyed Swings pose, you can simply come back here. If you feel like, my body was quite happy in Swings pose, and I can feel, not I think, I can feel that I can maybe go a little higher, you could come to Seal. Seal is with the hands flattening the floor, and you lift your chest. Now, obviously, if your hands are closer to the body, this becomes a bit more yang. This becomes a bit more pushy yin, like action. So your hands can come quite forward, shoulders away from the ears. That kind of in between Can also be to put your elbows onto a prop, which could be a bolster, a pillow, just a little bit of height. All right, that were the options. Pick one, and you will see the more you do yoga with me, the more you will have the opportunity to try the different options. And the interesting thing is also that, you know, it's not like, okay, this option works for me today and it will work for me next week. The body is different every day. We'll stay here, feel free to close your eyes. Now, with your eyes closed, can you scan the body? So, let's go from the toes up. So, bring your body-mind connection to your toes. You can feel your toes. Are they relaxed? And then bring your body-mind connection as if you're looking to your ankles, but just through feeling to your ankles, and relax your ankles a bit more. How do the calves feel? The front of the thighs, the back of the thighs, the hamstring. And now we're moving to the buttocks, and I can admit that as soon as I brought my mind's eye to the buttocks, I was like, hey, my bum is actually not relaxed. I was clenching my buttocks a bit, so let's relax the buttocks. Notice your lower back. Please, this is not about forcing and doing and getting. Less is more. Less is more. I'm actually going to go a little bit lower by bringing my prop a little bit more forward. More space. Feel your chest. Notice the breath. The shoulders. The neck. The jaw, the mouth. The breath entering the nose through the both nostrils and exiting through the mouth. We breathe in everything that is positive and that serves us. We breathe out doubt, anxiety, stress. So breathe in patience and confidence, and breathe out anything that is on your way to be kind, to be soft, to be gentle in this practice. Got around 7 more rounds of breath here. One more deep breath in. Either remove, just push whatever you're using forward, and we rest again with our hands on top of each other. Let your head come onto the hands. And then now this time you can shake your bum a little from right to left. Just from right to left. Notice that how that translates in some softness into the lower back. And then come into stillness again. Notice subtle sensations in the body. Bring your head up and your hands next to your rib cage. You can slide the knees in to lift the bum, and then child's pose just as a transition. Ooh, I feel that in the lower back. So sometimes actually when we move out, that we notice like, hey, that was an area that was stimulated by the specific shape. Sighs are always welcome. Come forward into a tabletop. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and this time we lift our right arm up to the sky. The wrist and the wrist touch, so the right wrist is really close to your left wrist. Slide, 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 slide until the arm or the shoulder comes down to the floor. Settle in. Remember just to take care of your neck here. And then the left hand can be at the top of your mat, on your bum, on your sacrum, or looped around, and hold on to the inside of the right thigh. Where is your breath? Are you counting the breath? What is the length of the breath? Has your breath slowed down? Is your breath still a priority of your checklist? Notice the thoughts in your mind. Let them be positive and kind. Some thoughts might surprise you. You go like, oh, that's an interesting thought. Other thoughts might not surprise you. It might be just processing thoughts of the day, thoughts of things that happened today. All good, all good. Let that brain start to calm down, so you don't have to process it all during the night. You kind of leave all those thoughts on your mat, and then when you step off your mat, you feel a little lighter, a little bit more connected, a little bit more calm. Stay with the breath. 1 more minute. Slowly move your left hand in front of your face. Soft pressure into it, so you're activating the muscles just for a moment. And then create those circles again. Nice and slow. Feeling into the shoulders. Feeling into the hips. Notice if maybe there's a specific shoulder. Is the right shoulder or the left shoulder more present in sending messages? More tight, more sensitive. We are not 100% symmetrical. And then make the circles in the other direction. Nice and slow. Alright, and then we step our right foot to the top of the mat. Settle in. So if you have a sensitive knee, you can always fold your mat double. And then you have a little cushion here for the left knee. Some of you sometimes forget that because I don't have sensitive knees. But if that's the case, just put something under the knee. Maybe you want to use your blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use books or bottles, or you can bring your hands to the thigh. This is almost yin-yin-ish. It's kind of active, but you can still soften. And here we can really relax. So just take an option that works for you. Ooh, let me put the timer, otherwise we'll be here for an hour. Yeah, looking good there. Feel free to close your eyes. So try to avoid the knee. So the hands are not on the knee, but the hands are on the thigh. Yeah, just on the thigh. Nice. And then try to sink a little deeper until you feel it, and then relax your shoulders. Karina, relax. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Nice. Interesting how sometimes we think a body part is relaxed, and then when we just pay attention to it, or somebody else mentions the body part, you go like, oh, now I soften. All right, 1.5 minutes. Close your eyes if that feels nice and safe. Focus on the breath. Soften your face, soften your jaw. Stay with the slow, deep breathing. And follow the breath through the nostrils, through the throat, into the lungs, expanding your upper body. A balloon that fills up with goodness. And then when you breathe out, a sense of surrender and softness out of the mouth, if you can. Three more rounds of breath. Nice. Let's tuck our back toes and stand feet hip-width apart. If you have your blocks, you can use them here. You might not need them. So people with sensitive lower backs, bend your knees. It just creates a little bit more space here in the lower back. So you can let your hands be on your block. Or if it feels alright, depends on your flexibility, right? So if you're a little bit more stiff, you might just want to put your fingers on your blocks. So you can let your head be heavy. I like to shake a soft no with the head to make sure that, you know, our head is quite stubborn. It has the task to think, to protect. So it also is sometimes hard to let go of that head, to let go of the thinking, to let go of the brain. Soften the neck and shoulders. Breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. So that's the back of the heart. We've been opening the front of the heart a lot, but let's now breathe into the back of the heart. In between the shoulder blades. 4 more rounds of breath. Imagine your brain being heavy in the skull. Really let it hang forward and soften. All right, let's come to a seated position. We'll do a nice forward fold, and then we have 2 more back bends. 2 of my favorite ones, to be honest. Now, I have overextension. Let's test if you have overextension in your legs. So I can show you, actually, I've got really weird arms. See how my arm bends the wrong way? It's kind of creepy. It's like it goes that way. It's not supposed to do, I'm not sure if you can see, but it kind of bends the wrong way. Some of you, if you stretch your arms, this is where you go. That's overextension. So I can overextend my joints. You can test it with your feet as well, with your legs. So if you sit with your feet straight in front of you, now activate the legs. So that's not yin. We're going to pull the toes towards our shins. Really active. So the quads are active, everything is active. And then watch if your heels lift off the floor or not. Show me. Flex, flex, flex. So Marcus, your heels are on the floor, right, when you do that? Yeah, so Karina, I think you've got a bit of that going on. Emma, not so much? I don't think so, huh? No. Okay, so that's just interesting to know. But if you have overextension, you tend to stretch into your joints rather than the muscles. When you stretch, you want to stretch into the bulky part of the muscle, the middle part of the muscle, so the calf or the middle of the hamstring. You want to feel the most of the stretch in the bulk of the muscle. So I like to place a block. That's just for me because I know I have overextension and I just wanted to share that in case. So if I don't do that and I come into a forward fold, I feel pulling here in the back of the knees rather than here in the calves and here in the hamstrings. So if you notice that for yourself, you can also roll up 2 towels, and just place them I'm just placing them under the top of my thighs. Uh-oh. You can also use a block there or a pillow. And then you come forward and we'll stay here for 4 minutes. If you prefer to turn your face to the side, I'm going to tell you 2 minutes and 2 minutes. So if you want to come, if you don't like to squash your nose, you just turn your face to one side and then I'll let you know. So if you're working with a pillow or something, I don't know how flexible you are. Maybe you need like a stack of things to put your head on. All right, settle in and then maybe turn the face to one side. Close your eyes. Relax your toes. So we were flexing our toes quite actively just now to check that overextension. Now you can relax your toes. Relax your shoulders. And you might notice, you know, you find your E, your edge. Then you commit to stillness and non-fiddling. And then with time, you will notice that the body starts to let go and surrender, creating space in the body and in the mind. Excuse me. And you might also notice that after a little while, you can go a little deeper, or not. You're like, hey, feels like I've got more space. And then you can go higher or lower, whatever works. All right, a minute on this side. Let your breath be present. Let it be conscious. So when you notice that maybe your mind has wandered and is thinking of other things, it's okay. Just go, oh yeah, my breath. Let's focus on my breath. Let's slow it down. Let's notice the inhale and the exhale. You are halfway, so if your face is turned in one direction, turn it in the other direction. You can come higher or lower. But if you choose to move, make the movements minimal. You kind of want those muscles to stay in place rather than activating them again, because then you kind of have to start all over again. Got 1 more minute, slow breaths. And there will always be certain poses that come quite easy and they are very enjoyable. Other poses, a little less. And that's normal. And they say that you need the ones that are a little less comfortable more. That's the places where the body is holding tension. And that's the places where the body might be resisting. On the next inhale, slowly, slowly, slowly bring your hands to the floor walk them a little bit closer. So your upper body is upright. And then you can hold on to the back of the knees with your hands and bring the knees, ooh la 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 la. I can feel that here in the back line of my body. Bring the feet hip width apart and just windshield your knees nice and softly from left to right. Just watch your neighbor, maybe one person if you're in a busy Yogashana. Oh, I miss having people. It's so nice to share the energy with others. Soon, 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 soon. All right, we've got two more big shapes. Well, actually, one biggie and one a little bit, depends. Actually, that's maybe not even true. They might be big for me, but they might be easy for you, because you guys have different bodies. The first one is, surprise, surprise, a back opener, heart opener, and also very nice for your psoas. Supported bridge, but we'll start a little different today. So you can use something underneath your hips. If you want to look first, but then please lie down before you come. So the first thing you do is lie down. Then you lift your hips and you place something under the pelvis. Not under the lower back, right under the pelvis. Right under your hips here. Low, medium or high. And from there, you bring your legs up. So you might just have to find a bit of it's like a little puzzle. And then your legs go up. We'll stay here for 2 minutes. Draining the legs. The feet are always down. So from a gravity point of view, this is the opposite from what you did the whole day, if you were walking or sitting. Close your eyes and maybe notice subtle sensations. I can only express what I feel. I feel little tinkling in my toes. I think it has to do with the SI joints and just, you know, quite a lot of movement today. So just let your toes be soft. Come back to the breath. You can even put your hands on your tummy and breathe into the tummy. So we're not used to our tummy expanding. You know, we all want like six packs and flat tummies. But think of the Buddha, the big laughing Buddha, like a statue of Buddha. And he has a big belly. So I call it the Buddha belly. Let the Buddha belly come out and in. It's really good for your diaphragm. It's nice for your organs to have some space. So don't really care about how it looks, but care about how it feels. Take 2 more rounds of deep, slow breathing here. One by one or together, place the feet down to the floor. Let them land. Maybe you want to readjust your block a little bit. Just feel if your hips can totally rest onto the block. Like a foundation. If you've done this shape with me quite regularly and you feel today you have more space, you can come higher. Remember, it's not a competition. It's under your sacrum. Will he be here for 2 minutes too? For 2 minutes too. You can have your palms facing up or you can have your arms overhead. Look, look, look. Notice if there's a little bit of contact, or if there's at least also contact with the balls of your big toe. So sometimes when we're really relaxed here, the knees want to flow out to the side and the weight moves to the pinky side of the feet. I'm exaggerating, but this can happen. So you want to pretend there's a little beach ball in between the knees and you're holding the beach ball with the knees. 1 more minute here. With every exhale, pretend that your hips are a little bit heavier and you surrender and let them be supported by your block. Four more rounds of breath here. Bring your hands toward your prop. A little bit of activation of the muscles to lift your pelvis a tiny little bit higher. Remove your block and then slowly, or remove your prop. Slowly, 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 slowly. Upper part of the back. Each vertebra is important. Middle part of your back. Keep your hips floating off the floor. Lower part of your back. And then slowly let the pelvis come down as well and pause. Lie still. And then our last beautiful nurturing shape, Ishavasana. If you have a lovely bolster like this, it is so nice now that it's close by to bring it under your knees. Such a nice variation. You can lift your hips a little and lie back. Otherwise, without it is also totally fine. If you enjoy meditation and you prefer to meditate instead, I'll be your timekeeper. We'll be here for another 3 minutes. If you prefer to be in your Shavasana or meditation longer, then this is a goodbye and you can leave the practice at any time. No need to say goodbye. I won't take it personally whatsoever. Otherwise, just start to, I know in Dubai they love the blankies. Cover yourself. So Beth, bring your feet a little bit wider. Wider, 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 wider. Yes, and then let the feet fall to the side. Bloop. So that block might be a little bit in the way. And then the palms are facing up. Yeah. Yeah, so let the feet fall out to the side. Ploink. Relax your feet. Yes, that's it. Take a deep breath into the nose. And sigh. Close your eyes and just lie still. Shavasana might be a challenging pose in the beginning. If you're not used to the art of doing nothing, the tendency of want to fiddle might be there. Just to go, oh, I feel uncomfortable here. I want to move and fiddle. Let's try to commit to stillness. you are in a very peaceful, happy place, just stay exactly where you are. No need to move. It can be very blissful and peaceful to be in Shavasana. If you feel ready to continue the rest of this beautiful day, I would suggest to keep your eyes closed. That just keeps the attention with your body and with your inner world. You can start with small movements of your fingers and your toes. It's like you're waking up your body from a little mini power nap. You just go, okay, let's wake up the body. Rather than abruptly wakening up the body, you just slowly, softly, gently, almost when you wake up another person, you don't go, hey, boo! Like you go, hey, sorry, wake up, wake up. So just do the same for your own body. Little movements with fingers and toes. Then you can make the movements a little bigger. Maybe squeeze fists with your hands. Flex and pointed feet. Circular movements with the hands. And then when you're ready, you can hug your knees in towards your chest. A little ball. Squeeze the knees in nice and tight. And again, take a moment there to have a loving, kind, grateful thought. Just one. Is there something that you can come up with today, now, that you're grateful for? Can't be that difficult. And with that grateful thought, roll to a side, and from the side, you come back up to a seated position, placing both hands on top of your heart space in the chest. Feel the breath underneath your hands. Maybe even feel the beating of your heart underneath your hands. Can you listen to your heart? To the sensations, the beating of your heart. Your beautiful heart. The motor of your body. The place where we can love, self-love and loving others. Where we can connect. Have relationships. Let's place the palms together in front of our grateful heart. Also acknowledging the other yogis that were breathing and yinning with you today. Thank you so much for allowing me to teach. Without students, a teacher is non-existent. So thank you for your support. Namaste.